Okay, give me a second. Un moment. One sec. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Does this sound good? Good morning, doctor. Doctor, can we submit the presentation on Wednesday? Yes. Yes, yes, you can. If you present today, of course, as we schedule, is better. Is this sound good? I want to check. I'm having this new microphone, and I want to check if the sound is good. Do you hear me clearly and well? Yes, very clear. Very clear? Okay. Good. Just checking everything. Reactions. Participants 20. Polling. Questions. Other question. What's wrong with this? Oh, I need to stop it. Yeah, add poll.
جامعة القضية ب 1075 وهاي كوريج تكنولوجي ب 1050 حتى جامعة الإمارات الجديد ب 1050 فشفتي من السعر يختلف من مكان لمكان مكان 1200 1120 ومكان 1050
Wow, this is so cool. Excellent. Great. Everyone, I'm testing everything. Okay, good. I am gonna make a coffee and I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then we start. So today we will, well, you will do the live presentations or you will show the video that you did. And so who wants to be first presenting, second, third, and so on? Tell me, I'll just organize. I don't know how to do it. We need an organizer. A student that organizes. Can we use a Slack?
ودي أفهم.
Say we are last. Shama, you want to be the last, okay. Bonus point for the first who presents. All right, okay, so I'll see you in 5 minutes. And meanwhile. Yeah.
أقول لك اشتركت فاتحة المايك.
أقل شيء اللي شفته.
فاتحة المايك.
أكثر شيء 25.
Valentina MVRGS.
خيبة 1986 مخالفة جلوس أطفال بالمقاعد الأمامية في الضرائب.
أنا سعودي 11 ولا 12 عندي 11.
تقطع يديه تحت.
سلام ما تسمعين؟
أقول لكم هاي فاتحة الكاميرا تكتب الدكتور تقول ليش يبغى نفتح زوم ليش؟ توها عرفت الحين رمسوها. هاي سلام الفشلة مصب الصارخ. لميا المايك مالت مفتوح بندي.
Okay, I am back. Good, excellent. So first, before we start with the presentations, anybody has any question about the course or anything that is not clear? Can you ask the questions? Aisha asked, all the assignments going to be like this to do presentations? No, of course not. In this course, you have various assignments, and let me show you. Here. 1, 2, 3. Wow, we need faster internet. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. So you have. So if you remember the syllabus, one of the CLO's outcomes is that you do some presentation orally or somehow. And so this is why we have these presentations. And it's also an excuse that you learn something that you have to learn in the course. And I heard that some of you don't like or are not happy with the teams because somebody doesn't work as much as you wanted them to work and so on. And so you have this team assignment randomly, and the next assignment will also be random unless you want to be in a specific team. There's one more team assignment like this one. Usually every year we do a debate. You will learn a thing called frameworks, and so you have to make teams and debate against each other, arguing against something or in favor of something. Usually we pick the net neutrality topic, and well, how do we do this online? I have no idea. Usually we spend 1 week doing this when there's like 60 students, so we're like 54. And so how do we do this online? I have no idea how to do this online. So debating online, if somebody has some suggestion of how to do this, be super welcome. Tell me. I will send you a video of a debate of the boys last year, and maybe you can tell me, maybe we can use this or that, yeah? Yeah, so debate. Good, so there's another one. Did you enjoy doing this team work assignment, or you hate your team? Is everybody happy with the team? Poll. I'm gonna do another poll. Okay, we're 49. All right. So these are the results of the poll. I'm going to do another poll. Show results. Anybody has something to say? Share now. Okay. Teams. Right. Do you see the poll? The presentation. So as we said in the instructions, can somebody ask Mahara how to? Salam. Okay, Salama and Mahara have some questions. Does somebody know the answer? Okay, I added a new question in the poll in Slack, very good, but also in the assignment in Blackboard. Yeah, very good, Sumaya. But also in the Blackboard, yeah, you can submit the link there. Yes, this is written in the assignment. Okay. Other questions? Good, excellent. Okay. Oh, another thing. The other thing is the attendance. So how do we do the attendance? So can you type your ID number here in the chat? This is going to be your attendance. So can you type your ID number here in the chat? Then I will see. Good. Super. Awesome. Okay, good. Another thing I want to ask you is, how do you like Slack? Useful. I'm going to ask this in, okay. Not so useful. Can you ask this question? Oh, I'm in the wrong chat. Here. Lamia, yes. Can somebody ask Lamia? Paul. Slack useful? Yes, no. So. Okay, as well, would you mind answering this question? So, okay. Okay, good. Yes, I want to talk about Slack. I'm still getting, for example, the other day I got a WhatsApp asking me, let's see, what's about? Asking me a question about the PowerPoint, where to upload it, right? Should this be asked through WhatsApp, or should it be asked in a direct message, or should it be asked in general channel? The question of where do we upload the video or the PowerPoint? So, because this question can be useful to other people, they should be asked in Slack first, in the general channel, yes, not in WhatsApp. And the reason is that if we don't respect this, then I get overloaded with lots of questions and which are repeated, and then I don't have time for important things for the course. Yes. Okay. Lamia Rashid. Okay. Here we have another question. Taif. We published a video on YouTube. Do we need to download it and then send it to the channel, or just send the YouTube link? What do you think? So I'm going to reply to Taif, and I have two ways to reply. One is in general directly, but there's a thing called threads link. You can ask things through a thread, and then things get very organized. Yeah? Tahani, yes, exactly. Submit in general channel the link and in Blackboard. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Good, very good. Okay, so who wants to go first? So we have a few things here. Salama, what do you think? Anybody can answer Salama? Of course, the important thing is the video or the PowerPoint. So anything you like, YouTube, because it's convenient. But yeah, good. All right. So who wants to go first? Oh yeah, that's it. Another thing. One more thing. I understand that many of you're using WhatsApp groups to manage your team collaboration. Yes. So there's various reasons why WhatsApp is a good idea and WhatsApp is not such a good idea. This is what I was trying to ask you here. So the problem with WhatsApp is that if you make a WhatsApp group, I cannot see what you are doing on who's working and who's not working in the WhatsApp group. And when somebody complains that this team member is not working, I cannot see it. But if you organize your job inside a WhatsApp group, then I can see what's going on. The other reason that you should not use WhatsApp for work is that WhatsApp is not designed for work. WhatsApp is designed for emergencies, for chat, for hey, where are you, and so on. But it's not designed for heavy work, like professional work. So WhatsApp is very good to when you're on the field, and it's immediate and so on. When in your case that you're doing group work, you want to be working in the laptop and in an office, and you don't need the immediacy of WhatsApp, which is the point. In that case, I would use Slack because in Slack you have persistency. The chats don't get deleted. If you join WhatsApp and the chat later, you still can see what was said before. Slack has document management. It means that things that you drop here, they stay here as a document. And it has a very powerful search inside, as I showed you before. So if I was you, I would use Slack. If you use Slack for professional work in Europe or America, they will think that you are not professional, right? Most people. I know in many countries they use WhatsApp for work. In China, third world countries, they use this for work. But in developed countries, Germany, France, England, Sweden, America, Canada, if you use WhatsApp for work things, not good. Okay, so keep in mind that. Yeah, think about it and so on. So it's very easy for you to create a group here and a channel and do the things you need to do inside the channel. I know it's difficult because WhatsApp is so easy because it's on your phone, but on the phone you also have the Slack app and you can turn on notifications and then it becomes like WhatsApp better. It's just a little thing. Okay, so who wants to go first? Group 6, okay. So Taif, can you take over the screen sharing? Okay, so shall I open this? Or you want to share your screen and you can comment the video at the same time? Yes, so Taif, do you want to play the video on your screen and share your screen? Can we do that? I think you can do it now. Yeah, okay. So open your microphone and explain a bit what was the topic of the video and introduce your group.
Hello everyone, so we are talking about the 737 Boeing's airplane. We will tell you more about their updates and their challenging against Airbus and how did this lead to 2 big air crash and how does everybody infected from their lack of responsibility in designing.
Okay, awesome. So please play the video and share your screen. Yeah. Is the sound on? Yeah. Do we have any sound there? Oh, you made it before. No sound? Okay. Interesting.
Do you hear anything?
No, I don't hear the sound, Taif.
Do planes crash?
Now?
Is it the pilot's fault?
Yes,
Or
we can hear now.
Yeah, okay. Start from the beginning again. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello everyone. I noticed that every once in a while we hear about a plane's crash. Have you ever took some time to think about why do planes crash? Is it the pilot's fault or is there something wrong with the plane? Let's take a recent example. Have you ever heard of Boeing 737 MAX 8's crash in 2019? To take more details and understand the story better, let's go back in time a little bit. There are 2 big aircraft companies, the American Boeing and the European Airbus, that have been in competition to dominate the market for many years. If one of them can offer a better plane, the other could lose a lot of money. Both had popular designs in market. Boeing's 737 and Airbus's A320, they are roughly the same size, seating up to 119 people. Both are exceptionally successful. The 737 is older and has been steadily improved over the years, but the A320, a newer, slightly larger and more comfortable aircraft, is outselling the 737, not at least in the low-cost market that Boeing have monopolized. In 2010, Airbus announced that they would update their most popular model, the A320. For this new plane, Airbus had a big update. It would have a new kind of engine. It was much larger than the previous engine. Here's Boeing problem started. To compete with the Airbus, they had to update their engine too. But there was an issue. Their 737 airplane was closer to the ground than the Airbus's A320. So, if they wanted to update the engine with the bigger one, there will be no space for the airflow under the wings. But later, Boeing's product development head had big news. He said, "We figured out a way to get a big enough engine under the wings." The solution for this problem was to extend the engine up and dwell in front of the wing. However, doing so also meant that the center line of the engine's thrust now changed. Well, this is another problem. Now, when the pilots applied the power to the engine, the aircraft had a significant pitch up or rise its nose, causing a big problem. Instead of redesigning the plane to fix these problems, Boeing relied on something called Maneuvering Characteristic Administrative System, or we can say MCAS, which is a software that automatically pushes the nose downward if the pilot flew the plane in a very high angle. But because Boeing was selling the 737 MAX as pretty much the same plane as the 737, they did not mention this new software in the training for the pilots in 2-hour training course. This lack of responsibility and underestimating the problem in designing a better model later caused 2 crash accidents. The first crash took place in Indonesia, flight JT610, that took off with 189 people on board from Jakarta at 6:20 Monday, 29 October 2018. It was due to arrival at Dipati Emir Airport, Hamka Benin, an hour later, but 13 minutes into the flight. Authorities lost contact. Bambang Siri, Operational Director of the Research and Rescue Agency, said, "I predict there are no survivors based on body parts found so far." A few months after the first crash on March 10, 2019, another crash happened with the same aircraft model. The airline said 149 passengers, 8 crew members, were on flight ET302 from the Ethiopian capital to Nairobi in Kenya that crashed just after minutes into the flight. Boeing is fined nearly $20 million for installing equipment in the 737 MAX and the other aircraft before its approval. And lawsuits filed by victims' family are seeking tens of millions of dollars in damages. Moreover, Boeing is facing a class action lawsuit in U.S. courts behalf of more than 7,000 MAX pilots who argues that the company's practices put the lives of pilot, crew members, passengers at risk.
Wow. Wow, very good. Very, very, very good. Excellent. Well done. Clap, 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 clap. Well done, Taif. Fantastic. Okay, So, yeah, anybody has a comment, like, how is it possible that this happens, right? Like, what went wrong in the culture in this company? Yeah, it's a very good job. Very well done. I think everybody understood the problem. There's something missing. Hey, what do you mean? Don't expect something like this from us as an engineer. Yeah, but it happened. So Maria Mahmed, can you open the microphone? So it happened. This thing happened. It's real. Boeing is a very serious company, but this happened. So if you want to avoid this kind of behavior, we need to understand why this happened. Why, right? So if you look at this kind of issue and other issues like Volkswagen and so on, it's about the culture.
Sarah, I did not hear the question clear. It was lagging.
Okay, what about now? So I'm asking, very good presentation. There is only one thing missing. And the one thing missing is why this happened, and not how it happened, but why this thing happened. Because Boeing is a very serious company with a long history, right? They're not particularly starving, they're not poor, everybody has a good salary, they earn lots of money, a lot of money every year. And so you can expect this from a not serious company, but from Boeing, such a big professional company, how is it possible? Why did this happen, right? And so it's very important to find out the real reasons. What kind of culture made this happen? If you look at the history of Boeing and the culture they had, one, they have a lot of pressure for profits, right? And two, as you said, they wanted to compete with Airbus, but they didn't want to do the hard work, right? And three is that, and this is the important thing, they wanted to upgrade the plane with new engines that were too big for the plane, and so they didn't fit, so they put the engines a bit up, but then it changes the characteristics of the plane, so they put this crazy software, which is like, but they don't tell the pilots, and they kind of hide it, right? And so why did they do this? They didn't need to do this, right? They could have told the pilot, hey, we did this, and this is the new software, just be careful with this thing.
As we mentioned in the video, they were actually selling the new MAX airplane as the previous version. So they wanted to do as Airbus did. They did not do big differences.
Very good, Taif. They did that. So they wanted to keep selling the new plane as it was the old one. Why?
Maybe because it was like their best seller?
No. Anybody else? So the reason was that
there to compete with the
no. So the thing is, they made this plane, which is very different from the previous one. But they wanted to keep selling it as if it was just a minor update from the previous model. But it was not a minor update. It was really a big changes. But they tried to kind of hide it. So they had an incentive to keep selling this plane as if it was just a new version, but it was not a new version. It was a quite new plane. And the reason is to save money. Very good, Khadija. The reason is that this should have been a new plane, but if it's a new plane, you have to go through the certification process of the plane, and this takes time and money. So they wanted to save a bit of time and a bit of money. And because this greediness, just to save a bit of time and a bit of money, because if it's a new plane, you cannot use the previous pilots. The pilots need to go through the training of the new plane, and that is very expensive. And the certification and so on.
So that's why they gave them a 2-course hour on the iPad.
So the law, the American aviation law and the international laws, they say if it's an upgrade or a new version, you just need a small training. But if it's a new, different plane, a new version, then the pilots need to go through the full training of the plane. Yes? So Boeing wanted to avoid that this plane will be considered a new plane. They wanted to be considered an upgrade version because of the law. And because of that, they did what they did, just to save a bit of money. Sounds good?
Yes, sir.
But, so that is what happened. So they had a lot of pressure to make money, and they just wanted to save money by avoiding, the law. And there is a big reason why the law says that, hey, if it's a new model, the pilots need to go through a new training. That is the reason. And that's what happened. Very sad. And so when, in this case, Boeing put profits before safety, very simple. And they kept denying this, the first crash and the second crash. And if you look at pilots, forums and comments, the pilots complained to Boeing like, hey, this MCAS system, you should tell us what it's doing. You didn't tell us what it's doing. We feel like you're like, this is dangerous. You should be telling us. The pilots told Boeing a long time ago, but Boeing just ignored this because they thought just profit's more important. And if you're an experienced pilot, you know more or less what's going on. But the two pilots that had the crash were new pilots. They didn't have so much experience. They didn't know what was going on. And that's what people died, just for a few dollars. So the important thing is to realize, no, Boeing is good or bad. No, it's why this happened. And the reason usually these things happen is because the culture, a culture where profits and money is more important than safety. And you can see many red flags in this, like profit pressure, this culture of trying to avoid the law or not respecting the law. And if you look at the emails inside Boeing, there were many emails where you could see that they didn't really respect the law inspectors of the Federal Aviation and so on. So, yeah, good. Okay, excellent. Well done. One of the best presentations I've seen in this course. Who wants to be next? Group 4. Okay, Sumaya, you can take over. Sumaya Mazurey, can you share your screen?
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to present about Cambridge Analytica. Our presentation is a video, so enjoy watching it.
As a result of doing that quiz, they sucked in information about me, which was then used by Cambridge Analytica.
Hello everyone. So what is Cambridge Analytica? Cambridge Analytica is a company that offers services to businesses and political parties who want to change audience behavior. It claims to be able to analyze a huge amount of consumer data and combine that with behavioral science to identify people who organizations can target with marketing materials. It collects data from a wide range of sources, including social media platforms such as Facebook and its own polling. Its headquarters in London. The firm was set up in 2013 as an offshoot of another company called SCL Group, which offers similar services around the world. The founders are Alexander Nix, a British businessman, the former CEO of Cambridge Analytica. Dr. Alistair McWilson, a British cybersecurity professional. He is a chair of the Institute of Information Security Professional and a founding director of Cambridge. Stephen Bannon, he served on the board of Cambridge Analytica as he is a former vice president of Cambridge Analytica LLC. This is your digital life. It all begins with a quiz that a normal Facebook user with queries to know about what's going with their digital life. They have created an app that collects data from a user, and as soon as this user gets convinced, the social zone data got involved. They used behavior scientist Alexander Kogan of Cambridge University to establish the quiz app. Eventually succeed because they read their audience vulnerabilities before targeting them, ending up with creating networks of connected data as their targeted user database. The consequences: UK ICO pursued a warrant to search the company's services. Facebook banned CA from advertising them platform. On March 23, 2018, UK High Court granted ICO warrant to search Cambridge Analytica office. On May 1, 2018, Cambridge Analytica of its parent company filed for insolvency proceeding for closed auction.
We would only need to touch a couple 100,000 people to expand into their entire social network, which would then scale us to, most of America.
And people had no idea that their data was being taken in this way.
No, if you were a friend of somebody who used the app, you would have no idea that I've just pulled all of your data. It was almost everything that would be on a Facebook profile. So that was things like status updates, likes, in some cases private messages.
So Cambridge Analytica has people's private messages they sent on Facebook.
I can't say whether they did or not. What I'm saying is what the app could do.
So you didn't ever stop and think, actually, this is people's personal information and we're taking it and we're using it in ways that they don't understand. You didn't think, actually, I'm not sure about this.
The company, we didn't do a good job at due diligence. So no, we didn't.
This company was employed by President Trump's campaign during the US elections. Cambridge Analytica sought to sell the data of American voters to political campaigns and ultimately provided assistance and analytics to the Ted Cruz and Donald Trump campaigns.
And these are our references.
Oh wow, very cool. Excellent.
Our wonderful team.
Our wonderful team. Very good.
Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.
Great. Awesome. Good. Questions? Well done. So I see many teams using Powtoons. Is this a good software? I used to use it a few years ago, and I don't use it now. It's cool. All right. Excellent. Any comments, questions? Did you get what Cambridge Analytica is about? Any questions? Okay, so just a few comments. One, for example, when you talk about the app that Cambridge Analytica made, it was a game, it was a psychology game that they deployed on Facebook. So just show me a screenshot of the game. That's show me, don't tell me, right? That's very useful. The other thing, why Cambridge Analytica has been so criticized? Why is it so bad? What is wrong ethically with it? What do you think? What is the big deal? By the way, very good with the references. Also the references at the end is really good, but then during the presentation, you can also add it next to the referenced content. And very good for the team. They stole, well, no, they didn't stole anything. If you're on Facebook, you could play this game, and at the time, if you were a developer, I mean, I've done this. If you were a developer, Facebook let you ask your friends' photos, your friends' information, not only your information, but your friends. So you sign up in a Facebook game app inside Facebook, and you could access a lot of information. Yeah. So what is so wrong with this Cambridge Analytica? Anyone? Why? Yes. Why is it unethical? Previous invasion. Yeah. How was the? It's not stealing. They didn't steal at the time. Well, they did. What they did was legal. Like you could make a game, and you could access a lot of information from you and your friends just because you used that game on Facebook. Yes, Shamsa. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So imagine, and this happened to me. Okay. I play a game on Facebook. This game collects a lot of information from me and my friends on Facebook, chats, everything. Then I play this game, right? Then the next day or a few months later, I get an advertisement that I don't even know it's an advertisement about politics in Spain. It's an advertisement made by Russians that is designed for me to be angry at some other political group in Barcelona. That's where I'm from. So this is a real case. So I've been targeted because somebody bought this information from Cambridge Analytica. I've been targeted with an advertisement which was fake news, so that I would be more angry with my fellow citizens that don't think like me in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yes?
I have the answer.
Oh, shoot, Alia.
It was a personality quizzes.
Yes.
Which have for years been able to collect and store a great deal of information about their users.
Yes.
So this was the game.
Yeah, so you do a personality quiz and they know your personality very well. And then what?
Where it came out of the data firm that helped them to collect all the information from the users.
And then they sell these to some political or other country like Russia or some other country, imagine like Iran or some other country that wants you to make you angry so that you will act in certain way politically, or that you will vote this or that. Yes?
Yes.
So in my case, for example, this was used to divide, to make us be more angry with each other in Spain. This is real. So I play a game that I think it's a game in Facebook. And then this information is used without my knowledge to manipulate me and my political views. So that is not okay because it's unethical. And why is it unethical? Because your political views are a pretty important thing, and it changes the destiny of a country just with these sneaky techniques and dividing people or making people angry just because some other country wants you to be angry. It doesn't sound like a good idea. So this was the problem. And why Facebook allowed that? So when you make a game for Facebook 2, 3, 5 years ago, you say, yeah, I will not use the data, you sign some document like, I will not use the data, I will not sell the data to other people, I will just use the data for this game. You sign this. But Cambridge Analytica didn't respect this. So when this information came out, Facebook told Cambridge Analytica, oh, you've been a bad boy, please don't use this data, delete this data that you took from the users. And Cambridge Analytica said, yes, we will do it, but they just ignored this. They kept doing what they were doing. And so, so that was really like funny. So on one side, Facebook made a lot of money from these kind of games because the games make people come to Facebook more often. So Facebook likes to have people developing games. The developer, Cambridge Analytica, made a lot of money selling political influence and manipulation to other people or other countries, Trump and so on. So everybody would say, yeah, it's bad, but they were making lots of money out of this, all of them. So on one hand, they say, yeah, don't do it. But on the other, they didn't really care so much. And so that was very bad from Facebook. Facebook, in this case, put profit before ethics. And they didn't realize how wrong is it that you let other countries manipulate users from USA or Spain or here. And so this is really, really wrong. So after this came out, it was a big scandal. Facebook finally stopped this from their site, and Cambridge Analytica is disappeared now. But nobody went to jail or anything. And only after that, the European Parliament, they enacted a new law called GDPR that you will study later. With this law, if Facebook did what they did before, they would go to jail. But this is a new law from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So now Facebook doesn't do this at all. And the law is different. But before, really, they didn't really care. They were making lots of money, so they didn't have a lot of incentive to take care of this. They didn't think also it was important or such a big deal. But one of the reasons is that they were making a lot of money out of it. So they were kind of convincing themselves that, yeah, this is not so important. And that's why Facebook has such a bad reputation today among many, many, many people. If you're interested in knowing more about this Facebook ethics, and again, it comes back to the culture, like why they have such a terrible culture, like why they don't care of ethics at all. And it comes down to the culture of the company and the CEO of the company, which he don't think about ethics too much. He probably never took an ethics course. Good. Other questions? Right, good. So because GDPR, maybe you notice now that when you go to a website, you have to, the website tells you, we will use the data for this, this, and this. If you accept, click here, right? So this came after this GDPR, which came because this Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal. All right. Anybody of you here uses Facebook? Right. So if you want to know how scary Facebook can be, there is a very good podcast. And if you listen to this podcast, you will be very scared about Facebook is like a mafia. They use very mafia methods. And I will share this with you. Here, okay, good. Really scary. Okay, good. Any other comments? Anybody has a question? So bottom line, they didn't steal, they just didn't tell what they will use the data for. So that's not good. Right, who's next? Okay, good. Nobody's next? Okay, good. No? Oh, no other group? Okay, good. So if there are no more groups today, well done for the groups that presented today. I have problem taking your IDs from the chat. I thought the format would be different. So can we do the same we did last time, that I share this Google Doc spreadsheet? Oh yeah, sure. Mahara. Okay, so go. Oh, you cannot see my screen. Sorry. Hold on. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. So in the chat I put the link to the Google Doc where you can do your attendance. Right, Mahara. Mahara, can you open it in your computer and share your computer? You have rights to share your computer. Mahara? So much technology. 52. We can present on Wednesday. Yeah, you can present on Wednesday. It's no problem. Okay. So open the presentation in your computer and share your screen. You can do that. Mahara, Sheikha. Mahara Sultan, open the microphone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have right to share your screen, so you can do it from your computer.
I don't know how to share screen.
Well, this is a very good chance to learn. So you go here and you share your screen.
I will try.
Okay. Also, I want to tell you that there are shortcuts in Zoom, and it's a very good idea that you learn the shortcuts, because you will have to work with Zoom a lot. And if you want to be professional, it's good to know the shortcuts. So that's really good. It will save you so much time. Slides as virtual background. Wow, this is very cool. Interesting. I'm going to use that. All right, Mahara, you got it? No? Okay. So, is this group 8? Hafsa. Sheikha, share her screen. Okay, who's presenting now? Mahara, are you present? Yeah?
Sheikha, yeah.
Is it working? Do you know how to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sheikha. Today I will be representing my team members for this presentation. I will talk about one of the worst financial crises that happened since 2008.
Hey, Sheikha, wait a second. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah.
I don't see your screen. I don't know why. Does everybody see Sheikha's screen? No, Sheikha, we're not seeing your screen. So one thing you need to do is always ask the people, do you see my screen? So go here to new share and share your screen.
Okay.
Like desktop 1 and then open the presentation.
It's working now?
Now, yes. Now, yes. Okay. Excellent.
I will be talking about one of the worst financial crises that happened since 2008. And it's about the Lehman Brothers. Who are actually the Lehman Brothers? They started their journey in the mid-19th century. as a general store. So this is how most businesses start anyway. You go small and then you go bigger. Henry Lehman was the first who was responsible for the business. Then his brothers Emmanuel and Meyer joined him later. Lehman Brothers are the fourth largest bank in the United States. They provided investments, equity, and trading, and went bankrupt in 2008, and this is what we're talking about today. So how did the scandal actually happen? Taking risks and overconfidence, regulator inaction, I would say these points comes under one word, which is being irresponsible. And being irresponsible means not showing any action towards the work you are doing or what went wrong. So the Lehman Brothers, as the Forbes website said, they used something called sheet balance manipulation. And that means that they manipulated people. They hide billions and billions. And also, yeah, this will get us to the next point. Cayman Islands. This is where the most damage went. So they sold their liabilities to the bank in Cayman Islands. Yeah. What happened actually that the civil servants are no longer getting all their pay, and the government is considering imposing new tax on these islanders. So this is a bad thing will happen. This is, yeah. It would be a bad thing to happen to someone who lives in the Cayman Islands or anywhere else. What are the root causes? Greedy Wall Street traders. So what do we mean by greedy? Greedy means that your desire of wealth. Wall Street is a street in Manhattan. It's where most of the companies and financial markets, exchange rates, and all of that. The Fed's action rating agencies. This all got them exposed and caught. And the end of the world eventually knew about it. So, yeah, this is all about it. These are the references for you. Thank you.
Hello? Sheikha?
Yes.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, anybody has questions? I share my screen now. Anybody has questions? Did you understand what was the big problem with the Lehman Brothers? Why was such a big scandal?
The problem was the culture they have, because they were a company with hundreds of years of history, so they were very confident on taking high risks.
Yes.
By taking high risks, they bought the stuff even though they were in debt, and they couldn't sell the stuff they are buying.
Yes.
So that makes the debt more higher than before.
Yes.
And because the management encouraged high risk taking, always wanted to be on the top.
Yes. But you know.
So that is their problem, was overconfident and risk taking.
So That's true. That's one of the problems. Overconfidence, yeah. Risk-taking, yes.
Yeah, they also bought real estate at the time where real estate prices were falling, because they were planning to sell them later instead of selling them right away.
Yes. And so they were acting recklessly, right?
Yes.
And they lost a lot of money.
Yeah. And didn't know how to get that money back.
Was this their money or other people's money?
The problem was with money.
Was
Because
this
they
their
wasted
money?
the money.
Was this
and
their money
didn't-
or other people's money?
Oh, okay. It was other people's money.
So I'm an employee of Lehman Brothers and I make some financial bets.
Oh,
and
okay.
If I make money, I get a commission, right?
Right.
If I lose money, I get no commission, but there's no punishment for me for losing money. So what do you think is going to happen?
With that, you're gonna lose.
I'm gonna try to earn as much money as possible by taking incredible risks, because if I lose the money, nothing happens to me, right? And this is the problem with Lehman Brothers. How many Lehman Brothers person went to jail?
I do not know how many.
I tell you how many. 0.
Okay. Really?
0. Yeah, 0. So that is the problem. So I'm in Lehman Brothers. My salary will be high if I earn a lot of money. The way to earn a lot of money is to take crazy risks. But if I'm wrong, nothing happens to me. So what's going to happen?
So that's why they have so much confidence.
Yeah, because there's no...
Because they didn't have any consequences of their action at the time they were doing it.
Correct. So nobody went to jail. Nobody. And then if you do something wrong, then the government will clean up after you. So...
Yeah, right. I read about that.
So that is the problem. But these are employees. They're just trying to make money, and so everybody's doing the same. So they're not bad people. They're just
they're just bad at managing their money.
It's not just bad. It's just the incentive structure. That's the way it's
they
done.
use bad
That's the
strategy.
culture. It's not bad. It was okay. It worked well for many years, but once every 20 years, it doesn't work well. But it doesn't matter because the government will save you and you don't go to jail. So there's no incentive to be careful, right? There's a very good movie that you can watch on Netflix. It's called Margin Call. That explains very, very, very well. It explains very well this culture and why this happens. And it's very interesting. If you want to understand Lehman Brothers, it's about Lehman Brothers, basically. Yeah, and the other is too big to fail. The other one, if you want to understand also the Lehman Brothers scandal, is called The Big Short. Really interesting movie if you want to understand the financial markets and why this happens. These two are really interesting movies. Okay, so well done, everybody that presented today. Anybody else? I think we're running out of time. So we'll stop here.
There, my group will present.
Okay, but we have 5 minutes only, yeah?
Yeah, I think.
You ready? You want to share your screen?
Not me, Salama.
Oh, Salama, go ahead. Let me check here. I will stop my screen. Salama, can you go ahead, share? Volkswagen, the Germans, yeah, wunderbar.
Okay, before we begin, we will talk about Volkswagen, a car company, and we will talk about the scandal, when it's happened and why. And I hope you enjoy the presentation.
You have to share the computer audio. Who's sharing? Eamon? You need to share the computer audio because we don't hear anything. In Zoom. So you have to go to Zoom where you share your screen. Who's sharing? Salama? The options. We need the computer audio. Salama.
Hear me?
Yeah, now yes. But you need to enable computer audio, which is done.
How can I do it?
Do you know how to do it? When you share the screen, there's an option.
I don't know.
Anybody can help. Okay, then I will play it for you. I will take over the screen.
Okay.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. This is the Volkswagen, yeah? It's this one? This is a video? Okay, good.
Hello everyone, today me and my friend are going to tell you about a scandal that started in 2015 and caused a lot of issues because of how it affected the environment, and it is the VW Dieselgate. So what is VW stands for?
VW stands for Volkswagen. It's one of the world's most successful volume car makers. It was founded in 1937 and has 186,370 employees. The group's core brand maintains facilities in 14 countries where it produces vehicles for customers in more than 150 nations.
And what is the Volkswagen emissions scandal? Can you tell me more about it?
It's also known as Dieselgate or Emissions Gate. Began in September 2015 when the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency issued a notice of violation of the Clean Air Act to German automaker Volkswagen Group.
And can you tell me more about who is Martin Winterkorn?
He is a German former business executive. He was the chairman of the board of management of Volkswagen AG. He took all the responsibility for the emission cheating.
Can you tell me more about how did they cheat?
They cheated by using a software algorithm, a defeat device, to pass emissions tests on their diesel cars.
A group of scientists at West Virginia University discovered that Volkswagen was using software in its diesel cars to cheat on clean air tests. The software detects when the car is being tested. The engine then runs differently, making emissions seem cleaner than they ordinarily are. They find emissions are up to 40 times higher than legal limits.
And what is that defeat device?
Defeat device is a design to defeat the emission control system standards of the Clean Air Acts. So let us watch this video.
So a defeat device is a special program inside these computers that can make it look like the car meets emission standards even when it doesn't. Volkswagen had a problem on its hands. Its diesel engines were known for getting great fuel economy, but the NOx trap only works well when more fuel is being used. So the car would detect using this defeat device when it was getting an emissions test. It would use more fuel, make the NOx trap work well, emissions would be fine, but then you get on the road, the device turns off.
Is there any reasons for why did they cheat?
I think the main reason, in order to meet US standards during regulatory testing of Volkswagen cars.
So what does the experts think about the reason of this scandal?
Peter Henning, he's an expert in the auto industry and white-collar crime. He stated that the need to cheat probably came from a culture set at the higher levels.
What did the Volkswagen engineers do?
They had wrong expectations of the company and they were unable to meet the US emission standard. Also, their engineers found a solution to face the emission standards, but they preferred to continue rigging rather than implementing the method.
And how many people went to jail in result of this scandal?
2 employees went to jail. First one was James Liang and the second one was Schmidt.
How many people were estimated to die because of the Dieselgate?
Pollution from 2.6 million Volkswagen cars sold in Germany between 2008 and 2015. The researchers estimate that 1,200 people in Europe will die early.
And how would culture affect on ethics?
I think there is a relation between both. Culture has a significant impact on the ethical perception on its own. Both direct and indirect impact of ethics on the culture is available.
Why do you think scandals happen in corporations?
I think it may be a money purpose, or they want to be the best, or there is a hatred between companies or the employees. Maybe they think about the success not people need, or they want to sell more to reach the highest position.
The following clip is of Martin Winterkorn apologizing to authorities and public.
Ich entschuldige mich in aller Form bei unseren Kunden, bei den Behörden und der gesamten Öffentlichkeit für das Fehlverhalten.
Very good video, very good idea. Wow, so many references, amazing. Excellent, well done. Questions? Right, very good video and very good comments about the culture. So Volkswagen had this culture of being number one, and it was something like they wanted to be number one in the world, and they are number one now. But at what cost? Killing people, giving cancer to innocent people. So not so good. And so many people knew about this, what's happening inside Volkswagen, and nobody said anything during years and years. So that's very also troubling about the culture. And here you have this thing about corporations. The boss says, let's be number one. And they want, okay, give me a very good diesel engine that meets the standard. This is impossible. Can you do it? And if you say no, you get fired. They find somebody else that can do it, or that says yes. But it's impossible to have a clean diesel engine that meets the emissions standards and is fuel efficient. And they just start cheating, and then they didn't stop cheating, and that's what happened. It's called the slippery slope. So yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Very good for everybody who presented, and I'll see you in the next session. I will send a link on Slack. Well done, everybody. Any questions? All right, so we will stop here. Yeah, have a good day. Mariam, I just saw your message. this. All right, you can leave the meeting. Yeah. Did you check your attendance here? Yeah, cool, awesome. I am here. Okay, September 14. Everybody's here. Are you sure about this? There's only 51 people in Zoom. Please do not cheat on this stuff. Oh God. Doesn't work. Okay. Okay, you can leave the meeting. Alrighty. Amen. Asha, you can leave.